Theme doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all math with art.
No, that's wild.
Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And we love sharing those board games with you and the joy of this wonderful hobby.
We sure do.
Now today, we are going to react to some spicy board game takes.
Oh, okay.
We've asked if people have spicy takes over on our Discord or Instagram. We scoured the interwebs and found 10 hot, spicy opinions.
10.
And we are going to react to them. Tyler has not seen these opinions.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
But I have. But I'm saving all of my reactions for you. Now, I will not be revealing who has these opinions for the sake of protection of these individuals. Because, you know, sometimes spicy opinions are just listed. And some of these folks have just messaged us to recommend these spicy opinions to talk about them. Now, all in all, this is all to have fun. It's to state our opinions, see where we stand. And also celebrate the diversity of opinions in this hobby, because there's a lot of you, there's a lot of us, there's
actually only 2 of us, but there's a lot of people out there that enjoy board games. So
in a variety of ways.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody has their opinions, and you're allowed to, and that's fine.
But my opinion is fact.
I can disagree with that too. So
Tyler often does. But without further ado, I have my handy dandy sheet of opinions.
Handy dandy sheet of opinions.
A spicy hot takes. So we will discuss each of them one by one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
First one. If a board game allows you to quarterback the entire game, it's not a good cooperative game.
It's not a good... Okay, I just agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I think that if you have one person quarterbacking the entire game, it's not a good cooperative game.
I vehemently disagree with that.
You think that it's a good game?
Well, if the game allows for one person to, like... Okay, first of all, let's rewind. When this person says quarterbacking game, we should probably explain that. It means one person takes over the entire game and tells everybody what to do.
So that's bad.
It is bad. Quarterbacking is bad, but it's not the game's fault when people quarterback. It is the group's fault, and it's the people's fault. There are many games that you have the capability to tell everybody what to do because it's open information, but those games are not bad.
Right. I don't think I interpret that opinion as that. I just think that I interpret the opinion of if there's a quarterback at the table and it's not that and it's a bad, then it's not, doesn't mean it's a good game.
Well, then the spicy take would be it's not a good player at the table, not as a...
Yeah, okay, yeah. So then I guess that would be the thing is it probably could be a good cooperative game, but exactly that.
You know, I think cooperative games now are afraid of that critique, because I feel that critique comes up a lot, that, oh, this game, it can be quarterbacked,
right,
or one person can run everything. But I think there's some creativity, and there's a lot of players that would actually really like a game that you can kind of cooperatively figure out what to do.
But you're doing that if you're playing with the right people.
Exactly.
So I think that, like, it's... I don't know if
But sometimes the games shield that. Like, they give you hidden information, or they make you decide on this.
Right,
like,
but you also have to take every instance of the games that are like that and understand, like, the decision there. Because you can take a guess at it, but you'll never know if it was like, oh, I'm worried about quarterbacking. Because if you were worried about quarterbacking, maybe that is something that people do. As designers, I don't know. I'd have to ask some design friends. But at the same time, like, I think it also pushes people forward to be at least conscious of the quarterbacking that may happen.
That's true.
Or that may be encouraged.
It creates the conversation and helps you guide your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
But your last thought, do you agree that if a game can be quarterbacked, it's not a good cooperative game?
Not necessarily.
I do not agree. Okay. And that is this spicy, or I don't agree that I think it can be a good game.
Yeah, so you have to state it. You think it could be a good game.
I think it could be a good game even if one player has the ability, not necessarily will, quarterback the game.
This one confuses me a little, but I do get it.
Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's spicy. Expansions make most game worse, not better.
Oh. I don't know.
You want me to start?
I'll start. Go ahead.
I agree wholeheartedly. I can name like 5 expansions in my hand that have made the game better. The rest, I'm just like, it doesn't need it. There's no reason to have this. Right. And a lot of it, I think, comes down to the capitalistic nature of board games. Right. Like, if a game sells really well, you obviously want to create more content that sells more so you can essentially make money and make more games.
Right.
But I don't think many games need expansions. And my hot take in this whole topic.
Hot take in a hot take?
A hot take and a spicy
what?
is... I think that big boxes in games are coffins. I think as soon as you get a big box that stores everything, like, it's so hard to open that big box, decide what you're going to play, rearrange everything. There's not a lot of them that do that well, and I feel like every time we've gotten a big box to put things into, we've played that game less.
Okay. I can see both sides. I don't know whether or not I agree with that statement that expansions make games worse, because I know several expansions that I really enjoy playing with. That being said, expansions in the big box coffin are actually those are for people who are dedicated to that game.
That's true.
So they love that game.
Yeah.
We definitely have some of those big boxes. We do not need them.
That's true.
I agree. I think that we could get rid of them and just keep the base game. I definitely agree there. But we're the type of people that play a lot of different games.
That's true.
Where there are people out there in the hobby that play specific games. So having an expansion keeps them in the hobby, keeps them invested in their game, and like creates that like replayability.
That's true. And if it is your favorite game, it is always exciting when there's more that gets added to your favorite game.
Exactly.
And more that gets... So I think from that perspective, I do agree. But I think generally,
I would say that it doesn't necessarily make it better. It usually just complicates it a little bit more.
I do love expansions that just add like extra stuff without rules.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
like
always
more
really
cards.
nice. Yeah.
For a shuffle, I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was also gonna say is that I think that the Kickstart, or like not Kickstarters, but games that have ideas for expansions and then step back to make it like a more base type version, but then release it later, I think is also not great. I think that you should just include it in the box, but I don't know. Maybe the expansion is like that big.
The whole planning, yeah, that's a good point. Are you ready for take number 3?
Sure.
I think we're both gonna disagree with this one as a spoiler.
Okay.
Theme doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all math with art.
No, that's wild. But I do appreciate it because there are those types of people.
I think there are people that just want to get into the puzzle of the game, but theme makes it so much better. I think you get to, and especially like exploring the different things that you have not, like I've learned so much from this hobby that I've not known before, even mostly through you folks when like we were talking about rival cities the other day.
Oh yeah, somebody explains it to us in the comments and that's like super amazing. Like that's actually really cool.
You learn a ton of stuff and I think that part is really fun. But there's also games where what you're doing actually feels like the theme of what you're trying to do.
Right.
And that's like extra 10 bonus points there.
I would say even a step further than that, I won't approach certain games if they are themes that I don't like. But if they're themes that I like, I will play them, and hopefully they're good. But if they aren't, then at least I can say I tried it. I also think I'm more of a mechanically driven individual though. So like I definitely lean into games that play well mechanically, and there are some games that I can think of that are like that I could care less about the theme.
Fair.
So yes, I'm gonna be that person that like plays both sides, but
I think it's really nice because now you know what mechanics you like, you know what themes you like,
and if
with thousands of games out there, you can narrow down which game is for you.
Yes.
And I think that's what theme is all about. Is there's different aspects that will appeal to different people because not everybody wants to do a space war or kingdom type of game.
Colonization.
Yeah, we don't need that in our lives.
The other thing that I would probably mention is the fact that like when you are picking a theme and a mechanic together, there's something to be said, I think Ilya even mentioned this, is that it makes the mechanics a lot easier, and then therefore the game is more approachable to some individuals. And with how the hobby is right now, with so many games out there, I think like bringing more people from the mass market space into the hobby space is something that we aim to do.
Yes.
So we're very like cognizant of that because it is an appealing piece to people.
Agreed. Number 4, spicy take.
Okay.
Player elimination is good actually. It gives player a way to bow out.
To bow out?
Yeah.
Okay, there's like 2 things there, I guess. I agree. I think player elimination can be a lot of fun sometimes. And I think that it depends on the game. If we're talking like a 30-minute game, sure. somebody can get eliminated 15 minutes in, and that's okay. But if we're talking like a 3-hour sit-down game, I can think of one in particular, Nemesis, for example. You can get eliminated in that game really quickly, and if that is your entire friend's like game night for the night, you're kind of just like sitting there doing nothing, or you're maybe even leaving because like you don't know what's happening, right? Like, I haven't experienced that myself, but like I've heard stories of people getting eliminated like really early in that game and then not being able to do anything. So it's like not as fun. Bowing out is interesting because to me, bowing out is like quitting the game.
Yeah.
Like you're just giving up on the game. And
I don't like that.
I think that that's different than player elimination.
I agree. I agree with you on player elimination. I think it's all context and it depends.
Yeah.
I think where it's intentional, it's harder. But I think in most cases where it's okay if it's like love letter.
Right.
Like it's a card game where it's more like the intent of it. It's not kind of a long-term consequence type of thing. In terms of bowing out, I think this one's so hard because the worst feeling is when one person is not into the game, they're not trying to win, and they ruin the game for other people. And
100%.
Like not even intentionally, it's more because like now a lot of games are designed that everyone's trying to win. So if one player all of a sudden is doing something chaotic and helping somebody else, it just ruins the state of the game.
Yeah.
So I think from that perspective, like, I don't want to give games the opportunity to bow out, but I think that concept is really interesting of like if I'm done with this game and no longer want to play it, how can you all still continue playing and still having a good time? So from that perspective, I can't think of a game that does that well.
What I would argue here is that if this is a game that somebody is not interested in playing and they've never played and they've played it before, they already know that they don't want to play it. So they shouldn't even join the game in the first place. I understand maybe getting stuck in that game, but then like, I'm sorry, but that was your choice. Finish the game. Finish
the game for your friends.
Yeah. And if this is your first time playing it, and everybody's the first time playing it, or at least majority of the people, I think you're obligated to stick around. Yeah, like you have to play the game out. Like one of the things in our household that we try to like uphold is that you play the game to win. Like it's not we don't have to win. We like to win,
obviously,
but we don't have to win. As long as we're trying to win, I think that creates like good tension around the table, and that's how the game is meant to be experienced. I think if you allow people to bow out, the game entirely changes. Yeah. So if there was a 4-player game and one person's like, no, I'm done, that game changes completely. Spaces open up. You don't have an AI that's like taking over, for example. So
I will add though, is I think it's okay to get a vibe check from the table.
Especially if you're playing a 3-hour game.
You might not be the only player that's feeling that way, because it's actually funny because this year is the first year
I can think of
where there was 2 games where I was just like, I don't want to finish. We still finished.
No,
one of them we didn't.
We vibe checked the table.
One of them we didn't, and the second one we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I remember in both those games, I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like, it is not. There's stuff in here that makes me upset. It doesn't work. Aspects have not happened.
Yeah, it's
and I think it's okay to like ask, because like you can always frame it as, hey, I'm not having fun. We still have a little bit to go. I'm very happy to continue and try my best. But I just wanted to check how everyone else is feeling, because we could use this time to play a different game if we want to.
But that is a lot easier when everybody at the table is new to the game.
That's true. That's very true. Next spicy take. Miniatures are a scam. Standees do the same thing, but cheaper. I will not argue that standees are cheaper.
I actually agree with this. I think miniatures are amazing. I think miniatures are amazing. I think it's a different hobby. I think miniatures are a different hobby that actually like coexist really nicely with board games.
True.
So if you're getting into the miniature space, it's almost like you are a collector of those, or maybe you paint them, so you want to be able to use them in the game in that sense. I think sometimes when, especially like I can think of like upgrades that you can get, I like when they offer the ability to stick with acrylic standees or whatever it might be, or then upgrade to miniatures. I think that making everybody have those miniatures, because they're not exactly cheap to make.
No.
And having to pay for them, I think it's intentional because you're trying to speak to your audience, but I think for those who don't necessarily enjoy the miniatures or the collection or the painting aspect, no.
I like the test of like a game comes out and it's kind of like its base form. And if there's really big fans of that game, they can maybe choose to upgrade a different version. Am I going to do that? Probably not for most games because it's not something that really appeals to me. Tyler and I did start painting some a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah.
But again, I agree with Tyler. It's a very different hobby. And I think giving players the option to choose what suits them is very friendly.
Yeah. And I will say this right now. We have a stand of miniatures that are beautiful. I love them. And hopefully,
we'll paint them one day.
Maybe we'll paint through them one day. But,
we've done 7.
Yes, but we've gotten through, like, that game is good. It's fine. Like, we don't play it a lot, but I love those miniatures. To me, I'm collecting those miniatures, using them as a paint hobby, not as a need to play the game kind of thing.
But sometimes it is nice when those coincide.
Yes.
That's true. Spicy take number
6.
6 or 5?
That was number 5.
Digital board games are better than physical ones. I will start with this one.
I was going to say, you should just kick this off.
Jail. Immediately jail.
Yeah.
Jail. I have a bias because I love video games. There's many video games I play, but I love board games. And the tabletop hobby has really, like, the community that you get at the table is just unrivaled. Like, looking up at somebody when they're about to make a move, sharing that context, sharing snacks, like, the community aspect of board games is really strong.
Yes.
I think digital board games have done a great job to take that tabletop experience and help spread it to our friends that don't live near us.
Yes.
Or if somebody is sick or someone is far away, like, it's a way for us to connect without having that tabletop medium. I don't think it's a replacement, and I usually dread playing them myself. So I will say I usually, like, I don't play a lot of any sort of online tabletop games. But I see the value in it, and I see the community in it, and I think there's a lot of, like, potential in, like, play testing and forming the games and making them better as well. But tabletop games on the table are superior in all ways.
Yeah. 2 things for this. The extreme side of this, if the digital game is far superior than the board game, I personally think it shouldn't even be a board game in the first place. It should just be a video game or something.
Do you have an example of this?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm choosing to not say. But to add to this, though, is I think there are certain games, specifically on BGA, because that's where I play most of my digital games, that are really, really smooth. Some of the administration for some of these big, heavier games, they're cleaned up on BGA, and I think that is fantastic. I also think that is a great way to, like Ilya said, play with friends who are not necessarily in the same city as you or region. Like, you're never able to get together to play games. Asynchronous games specifically, especially with he has opinions on that, but I enjoy being able to play some of the heavier games that I play with folks online through our Discord or for friends that I've met through this content creation space. I like being able to play, like, a turn-by-turn thing and not worry about having to, like, sit there for a few hours and play it. I think that's fantastic. I don't think digital games are better than board games when it comes down to it, though. I'd much rather be at a table with people. I just think the convenience of the online digital space is really, really nice, but I would prefer to be, like, socially in the group of people, like, playing games. Because a lot of the games that I do play online are asynchronous. I don't actually talk often to the people that I'm playing with.
My last insertion in this one, and we can move on. One thing I don't like is we're so conditioned for video games to walk us through games. And, like, where we, like, walk and we, like, learn what we're doing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have started doing that, specifically on BGA, where they'll jump into a game and they'll just, like, hope that they can figure out how the game works. And I think that has reflected negatively on a lot of games because you or people don't know the rules.
Yeah. I mean,
it's good that we disagree because there's one of us for whatever side you're on. But I think I'm an extreme in this case too, because even, like, we played Gloomhaven and everyone's like, you should use Gloomhaven Helper. I loved managing all those little things. I loved setting all of it up. That was my favorite thing. I was like, no, thank you. I don't need any app to help me anything. We will do everything the old-fashioned on the table way. But that's just, like, my way of experiencing games, and I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against them.
Next on our list, we have all games should have simultaneous turns.
No.
I can see where this person's coming from. Because simultaneous turns are fun, and I think it helps that whole aspect of... There's been a lot of games that have done them really well recently. Mm-hmm. But again, it's a context thing.
Yes.
If every game is simultaneous turns, it decreases innovation, it decreases creativity, and it cuts out a lot of really good games that require that turn-based interaction and strategy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that there's a time and place for all of these types of games. Simultaneous actions are fantastic. I love that they typically speed up the game. Mm-hmm. That being said, like, yeah, they're exactly turn-based. Like, you wait, hoping that you're going to be able to take an action, and then you can't take it because somebody blocked it for taking it. Now, that could get aggressive in my head if you're, like, fighting for worker placement spots. Obviously, I'm going to make an extreme. But if you're fighting for worker placement spots, can you imagine simultaneous worker placement? And you're like, no, and then you like flick it off the table and you're like, no, this is mine claimed kind of thing. So you can get like these headbutting.
Could be a fun game. You flick other people's workers.
Sure, it could actually come. You could come up with something like that. But I agree to an extent. I think a mechanic needs to be put in front of all blank games should be simultaneous play.
I think a lot of newer games have considered time as that resource and what we give to games. Yep. And I think a lot of them have developed ways to kind of speed things up or do things in maintenance that you wouldn't kind of notice kind of deal. Yep. And I think that's always really clever. Ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm. This is number 8.
Games that don't fit in a Kallax shouldn't exist.
I like this. Just games specifically. I actually think I agree. I don't know. Okay, so okay, we have Kallaxes. Like that's what we store our games in. So like any game that doesn't...
Do we have any Billies?
No. No. So I think that any game that we can't fit in here because of the collection we have is a little bit inconvenient.
Also, how big do you have to be to not... Like, those Kallax cubes are pretty big.
They are pretty big. Like, the ones that I can see on our shelves right now are big box games. So, like, they have multiple games, expansions, and everything in there. Mm-hmm. Like, that wouldn't work. But
even those can fit. Like, they're up there because it's just more fun for them to be up there.
So that makes sense to me. But I think, like, somehow, some way, and I'd be curious how this all happened, you talk to a board gamer, and they know what a Kallax is. So, like... It's almost a standard at this point. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, do you know all the other IKEA furniture?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, people know that we use Kallaxes to store these things. I know there are other solutions, but it's just such a common thing to hear us board gamers talk about. And I think, like, take notes kind of thing. Like, don't, what's the saying? Don't fix what's broken. No.
What's not broken?
Yeah.
Don't need to fix what's not broken. Yeah. I think the spicier take is it Kallax or Kallax?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or I've seen people pronounce it different ways, like other ways as well. Yeah. What is it truly? How do we find out? Yeah. We'll never know. Or we probably will. There's definitely a right way to say it.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Number 9. Are you ready?
Yes.
Table presence is sometimes more important than the game mechanics.
Sometimes more important. This is sort of like the theme one that we were talking about.
It is. I think there's some similarities for sure.
Because I don't know... if it has a good table presence, I'm intrigued initially right off the bat. Mm-hmm. But I have to consider, like, am I going to come back to the game? Did it actually play well? And when it comes down to it, the mechanics are actually what will keep me coming back. So I'll play two sides. Table presence is really important in deciding whether or not I want to play or buy the game. Mechanics and maintaining my interest are more important when it comes to, like, future looking in the game.
I think I have a spicy reaction to this one.
Okay.
So I think what you said has sparked a thought where you said if it has a really good table presence, you're intrigued and you're curious and you want to dive in.
Initially, yeah.
So I think that's a problem. Because if it has a glorious table presence that looks so good and then you play it and it's very subpar, I think it gives a poor representation of what the table hobby can be. the tabletop hobby.
Right, so you're suggesting that by having a really good table presence, if I play
But
it,
lacking
don't
the good mechanics.
and I play it, don't enjoy it, then the next time I walk by something that has a really good table presence, I might be like, oh, last time I did this, it didn't go well.
Yeah, and like maybe board games aren't for me.
But that's just like some kind of bias. I can't remember.
Well, yeah, and I think it 100% is because like the memory, because it could be that person's first experience. Because like again, the first day when I'm gonna go and select what game do I want to play if I've never played any games, I am gonna gravitate to ones that look really cool on the table.
Yes.
I want those games to have just as good mechanics as they look.
Mm-hmm.
And I think recently, especially, there's been a lot of games that look really good on the table, but don't necessarily meet. They don't play as well as they look.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So then the question here, in my opinion, is: would you rather a game be extremely low produced and mechanically good, or extremely high produced and mechanically not so great?
Low produced, mechanically great.
Yeah.
Well, because then you have the memories, and I think like if you really care about the game, there's so many creative outlets to upgrade it yourself.
Yep.
So like Etsy's a great place. You can really like do all sort of stuff yourself creatively, and typically those games tend to do better. That eventually they get a facelift.
Yeah, that's true. The ones that do good. Yep.
It's I almost kind of want to be like it's the initial test. You can't have miniatures, can't have this like glorious 3D presence. Like try just doing it at the table. If your game sells really well, let's do an upgrade.
I mean, like the unfortunate thing about it is that there are so many board games out there that you, as a company, you have to be able to distinguish yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that those are the things
that
an element. Distinguish the company.
100%.
So
100%. And the last spicy take we have that actually is a little bit related to what we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather play Uno with good friends than terraforming Mars with boring people.
Uno with good friends.
I think
100%.
The people are what makes it fun.
Yeah.
You can make any game. Like we can play 6 hours of Monopoly, and if the crowd is good and we're all laughing and having a joyous time, that will be a better memory than me sitting through a game I really love with people I may not connect with.
Yeah. Listen, I play games that I don't like. Not often. I was going to say often, but I play games that I don't like because of the people that I'm playing with.
Me.
I will go through that. I don't care. I love hanging out with the people that I'm with. I like that they enjoy it as well. So there could be some games that maybe aren't my cup of tea, but I know everybody else at the table is enjoying it. Therefore, I'm enjoying it. It has nothing to do with the game. So I think 100% of the time, I'm picking Uno with the right people.
And I think for me, it's also like it's not the most important. It's not kind of like I'm trying to think of sports where like
you're not competing to be the best.
Yeah, you're not competing to be the best in whatever game you're playing. Like, and I think there's people that want to do that, and 100%. That's a very valid and fun way to do it. Like the fact that competitive board gaming exists, that's fantastic.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's very cool. But for me, I just want to have fun. I want to have fun with friends, people I enjoy. I want to laugh. I want to make memories. I want to have grand moments. And I want to invite people back over and have them be excited to come back over as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to have feuds and rivalries, except I have a lot.
Oh, mostly with me.
And that has been
10 hot takes. Holy moly.
Spicy. Some of them weren't that spicy.
No, I mean, the trouble is when we both agree with our stance or we both agree with the take.
Well, maybe it'll get spicy in the comments. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Well, there are 10 hot takes. So our question of the day here for you today is, which of these do you most agree or disagree with?
Or both.
Exactly. Let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to continue the conversation. And if you enjoyed this video,
make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you're new here, because we love talking and teaching board games and doing different things with board games like this.
Exactly. And I was also going to say, and if you enjoyed this video, you can suggest us hot takes to react to in a part 2.
Yeah, did we miss a hot take?
We may have. Or maybe you just want to see us react to a wild sentence that you write down there.
I mean, make it board game related, obviously.
Come
on, people.
Come on. But thank you so much for being here, and we will catch you
in the next one. Bye.